Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Tyler, and I'm the National College Advisory Program Director for Rush Soccer. Today, we're going to take a back step and talk about the little guys and what goes through their mind when they're playing the game of soccer and how we as parents can help them succeed. We're going to be joined by Chris P., who is Rush Soccer's National Grassroots Director. He is a legend with the little guys. He's incredible to talk with, so we're going to be joined by him. And today's episode is brought to you by the Ryder Neck Hammock. If you have neck problems, take a look at it. All you do is clip it on a doorknob, and it solves your problems 10 minutes a day. You can find it exclusively on Amazon. That's Ryder Neck Hammock with 2 R's. And now, this is Capture. Chris P., my friend, my man, how are you doing today?
I'm well, Josh. Yourself?
Oh man, I couldn't be better. It's always a good day when I get to see your smiling face, man. That's a good room you have there.
Yeah, thank you. I'm working from the home office today, running around doctor's appointments and a few other appointments, but all's good, man. Life is good.
Good. So National Grassroots Technical Director for Rush Soccer. It kind of, in a quick sentence, what does that mean?
That's a great question. So just helping our clubs across the country and around the world with best practices, the Rush way for the younger children, what the journey, what the experience should look like as children go through the program, and what it looks like. How can I help coaches? How can I help parents? How can I help clubs to make it the best experience possible for every child involved?
So younger age. So we look at grassroots. We look at the little guys and girls, which is your specialty. And I'm going to tell you, if you ever have a chance to watch Chris with these little guys, it's incredible. I'm not saying that because just here, I couldn't. There's no one better to be with little kids like you, man. It's just incredible to watch you work with them. You just seem to grasp it. Maybe it's just your mentality, but
we're the same age mentally.
Yeah,
sure.
You're brilliant with them. So let's talk about this during a game. What goes on during a little guy's or girl's mind during a soccer game?
You know what? I think the best people to ask would be the little ones, and I've done that a few times. So I think what's going through their mind is, can I get the ball away from the opponent? Can I steal the ball away? Can I share it with a friend? Can I try that move that I've always wanted to try and that we've practiced? Is my mom or dad watching? Are my teammates watching? Oh my goodness, there goes a plane. Oh my gosh, there's a river. Am I going to go back for that one? There's so many things that go through their mind, right? In a game. But, just to unpick it a little bit is, they don't want to mess up. They want to explore and try things on their terms, as opposed to every time a little 5 or 6-year-old gets the ball, every adult is yelling, pass, pass, pass. The last thing they want to do is pass.
So, we talk about what's go through their mind, the playing, there's a worm, there's the coaches are kind of talking to them, the teammates, everyone's yelling, the parents start yelling. So what, as a parent on the sideline, and someone who has a 7-year-old, what's the best thing we can do to help our kid and maybe not freak them out, or how do we help our little guys on the field?
So the best advice I could give would be, just tell your kid you loved watching them play or you enjoyed watching them play, right? If they've had a really good game, tell them I loved watching you play. If they had a game that wasn't their best, maybe you tell them you enjoyed watching them play, because we truly enjoy watching them play, right? I think the best thing is there's a picture of Suarez and Messi watching their kids play. And Suarez and Messi are so relaxed. They're in a chair, just looking at each other, not really watching the game, but their kids know they're there, right? They're present, but arguably 2 of the best players in the world sitting relaxed, watching their children play, not feeling the need to yell or scream directions or tell their kid what to do. I think sometimes the less words we say, the better. So is it a smile? Is it because kids are reading body language as well. So I think just clapping and celebrating all good play, regardless of if it's a rush team or an opponent. Just applaud all good play.
Very good. And you talk about the calmness, and one of the things, coaches are really working on. We coach off the ball, not on the ball. So when a player, a little guy, gets the ball, there's 1,000 things going on. They may have just been looking at that play, and all of a sudden the ball comes to them. Mentally, as a parent, when we start saying "Go Johnny" or "Pass Johnny" or I mean, how does that is that is that an information overload for a little guy at that point?
Yeah, listen, I think it's distracting, right? Because soccer players make 2 conscious decisions a second. Right? So I don't believe we should be coaching the player on the ball. We should be coaching away and around the ball. We don't, when they play music, right? If they're playing piano, we don't feel the need to go black key, white key, black key, white key, faster, right? We have to let them just try things on their own terms, right? Even when they ride a bike, you don't say right foot, left foot, push down. You know what I mean? So why should it change when they play? So I know Jackson likes to play Fortnite, right? Your boy Jackson likes to play Fortnite. If you've ever tried to play Fortnite and have him give you directions, that should take, as an adult, how do you feel? Do you feel overwhelmed when you play that game?
Yeah, it's I'm embarrassed for myself. But you're right.
But that's my point, right? So that's how kids feel, right? When the adults are all yelling and screaming directions at them. So, go run faster. These aren't helpful things, although it helps the parent feel at ease. It doesn't really help your child, right? Because they're going as fast as they can. They're trying as hard as they can. And the important thing to remember is children get one childhood. So our job is to make it as memorable as possible.
And we see parents, and I struggle with this as well, because you do want to help, but there are a lot of times, because winning is not as important for this age group, right? I mean, it's they're just there to have fun. I mean, what's the post game mentality of a kid?
Yeah, so I think, like, even at the younger ages, right? Every time we take the field, we should want to win. We should want to compete, right? But the determination and will to win are the better part of winning. And I'm not suggesting that you're going to win every game, but you should want to win every game, right? Nobody shows up to say, I think I'm gonna play soccer to lose today, right? So they should play to win. We should teach children how to compete. Competing is not a dirty word, but the mentality and the mindset should be is, what are children's super strengths? What are kids really good at? Instead of being a deficit detective and figure out what they can't do. And if parents truly want to help, then go out with your child in the backyard if they want you to, kick the ball with them, shield the ball from them, let your child dribble and shield and show their moves, and spend 3 to 5 minutes a day with them, trying things, showing you things, because as a coach of developmental players, I think the best words we can say to children are, show me, right? Try this. And then if a parent has the ability to go out in the backyard or the front yard, and I see Skeleton Steve there, but getting them to show things and try things with a little bit of pressure on them, I think helps them, right?
So you got to balance this, because like you said, people want to compete, and but at this age you got to balance, because there's things that the coach is doing and maybe instructing the player that becomes more developmental, and as parents it's hard. We're not in the huddle. We're not in on the sideline when maybe the coach is telling one of their players to do this, and then a parent is chirping to say, "Hey Johnny, go here," which is now contradicting what the coach is saying. I mean, that's that mentally for a kid. That's confusing, because your mom or dad's telling you this, but the coach is saying that.
The best thing a parent can also do is hey, what do you want from me on game day? Do you like it when I cheer? Do you like it when I yell? Do you like it when I tell you? How do you feel, right? And these are true questions that you would have to ask. And there's an old Greek saying where you only learn the truth from children or a crazy person. And children will tell you the truth. Hey, Dad, I don't like it when you yell, because it makes me feel like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just had an incident this week with our under-11s. A kid's clean through on goal. All the adults are yelling. The kid misses. He starts crying. So I pulled the kid over. I said, "What's the matter?" Well, all the adults were yelling, and it was, made me feel bad. So I send him over with another coach, and the kid's crying, trying to get his breath back. And I don't like it when you yell, so please stop. And all the parents apologize. Now, earlier on in the game, there was a child that made a couple of mistakes, gave away a penalty, lost the goal. So I pull him out. Way after he'd made the mistakes, and I'm talking to him, and I'm asking him questions. My timing was terrible, Josh. It was absolutely terrible, right? The conversation was a great conversation and needed to be had, but not at the time. But it resulted in the same thing. So this 10-year-old boy is resorted to tears because he knows he's made a mistake. Then he's got his coach asking him questions, so he's crying. So I can't be mad at this group of parents for making this little child cry when I've done the same thing on the other end. So we just have to be mindful of what it is we're trying to get to. And as I reflected on that and had a conversation with a colleague, he's like, "Well, why didn't you just wait till Wednesday's training to talk to him?" And I thought that was great advice, right? But we have this need for instant gratification and to do a data dump and and it seems to happen, on the side of a field. So, as the adults, we have to be bastions and guardians of the game and making sure our children are feeling good, but understand, that it's their game. And as parents, we need to release the children to the game and then, ask open-ended questions, right? Hey, what was great about training today? And then your kid can go into that, right? But if they choose not to, but that's okay too.
Yeah. I love your advice of asking kids, because that's something that I learned from you a couple of years ago is asking a child. And my wife Emily may kill me for the story, but I've been really kind of I focus on sitting back and watching Harrison play, and I've been talking to Emily about it, and Emily was coaching Harrison on the ball and saying go go go, and I didn't prompt Harrison, but Harrison gets in the van and goes, "Mom, will you just cheer and let Coach Joe coach?" and I didn't prompt it, but Emily said, "I just got humbled by a 7-year-old." But you're right. I mean, and it was eye opening for me. It's like these guys are smart kids and they have their opinion, and I don't feel I ask enough questions for them. So I think that's just amazing advice. I mean, these guys are smart kids and they got their own opinions.
Yeah, and I just think as they grow up and as they move forward, I think if you ask those open-ended questions, because my auntie, the first question my aunt would ask is, "Did you win?" If you lost, it was a very short conversation. What did you learn? I think is a much better question. What did you do well? What could you do better? How did you help your teammates? How did you uplift your teammates? We have a saying in our house, and it's be the hardest working player that you can be the hardest working on the team, and be the best for the team, not the best on the team, right? And as they grow and as we grow as parents, when you think about it, do you want to be, as a parent, the reason your child doesn't get into that selected college because of your behavior on the sideline, right? So little things to think about and little seeds to plant. Do you want to be the reason that your child never got recruited as they grow up?
And and obviously that's that's a whole different conversation that we've had multiple podcasts on as well. So it all leads into that. And so final question for these little guys on developing the game. What's your feeling on playing video games, so playing FIFA or something like that, for the development of a little guy?
Yeah, I think listen, they get it. Obviously, playing real soccer, it helps, but playing FIFA gives them an understanding. It helps them with the laws of the game, the possession, the offside trap. It gets them to know players. Hopefully, it gets them watching the game, not just playing it on FIFA. But a lot of the U11s that I coach are like, sweat it. So they know the FIFA terms, and the kids are sweating it for each other. Just the other day, we had a little kid from Honduras who scored the bike in the game, and it was on purpose, right? But that was
it was on purpose. That's the key. It was on
purpose. Yeah, it was on purpose, right? But part of that is the kid's immersed in the culture of football. He's just moved to the US, and the night before, we were talking about, hey, what's your favorite meal? And he goes, oh, I like Starbucks, coach. I says, okay, if you get a bike, we can take you to Starbucks. So I don't know whether the seed was planted in that conversation the night before the game, but the kid hits a tremendous bike. And that told me a couple of things. Number one, he was comfortable enough to try and fail. Number two, he had the freedom without fear to try something like that. And I think if we can create those environments between the adults for the children, to give children an opportunity to try things, I think it's a beautiful thing, right? That's why children play computer games, to go back to your question, the video games, Josh. I think that's why children play the video games, because they're free and the adults aren't telling them what to do, etc.
Yeah, and mainly that's my question. That was a selfish question too, because I play FIFA with Harrison every day, so I just have to justify it in my mind as well. So, all right, man. Well, Chris, I appreciate you chatting with us to kind of get in the mind of the little guys. It's you're just incredible what you do, and I learned something every time. If you guys ever get a chance to see Chris on the soccer field or talk to him, it's well worth your time. So, but other than that, Chris, man, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. I'm humbled. Great to be in your company, big man.